you're in a situation where you are struggling and maybe you're at the bottom of the roller coaster and you don't know if you're going to make it. And there are times as an entrepreneur, we all find ourselves there. That is not a unique thing. And sometimes just hearing that, like, hey, I've been there, is encouraging. And that's another reason you need people in your life. But don't give up too early. You need that grit, like we talked about, to stick with it. And that stick with it grit that entrepreneurs need helps you weather through those storms. But it also, going back to your why, trying to connect those two dots, knowing why you're in it helps you stick with it. So you really have to know ahead of time before you hit those storms, why you're doing what you're doing, and got to stick with it to the end. There's so many times over my years, 23 years, many different storms and challenges that I wanted to quit, and I'm glad I didn't. There were 7 times where I've been offered to buy our company and really navigated through some of those. And we haven't sold. Why? Because there's value here. There's potential that we have that's untapped. And I want to see us reach that point. And then the last thing, and we didn't talk about this in the episode, and this is really where my focus is today, and really even recently, is try to replicate yourself in other people. That's not easy to do. And for me, there's not a financial goal that's driving me right now. There's not okay, I'm gonna hit this top line revenue number, this bottom line, we have great years, we always see good growth. But for me, I feel like my biggest opportunity is to replicate everything that I do in the company, in having other people parallel that and be able to actually shift that responsibility to other people and empower them. And that's not easy. It's not easy for me because I've had to work through that. And am I really ready to let go? Am I really ready to make this change? Can they do it? Are they capable? Are they qualified? Am I ready to let them do it? And there's just, as you think through a transition, every entrepreneur will hit one. It could be sudden. You could get in an accident and something happen like that. I know for me, I had a car accident a couple of years ago, and that really got my attention. I wasn't hurt, no one else was, but it really helped to say, okay, I need to really give this some serious thought. What happens if I'm not here? In a negative sense, but also in a positive sense. I'm responsible for a lot of people and their families because they depend on this company and clients. But what's the future going to look like? And what's going to be the path forward for those people that may outlive me? And that how's this company going to look? What values will it have, in the future and going forward? What will they operate with when I'm not here? And so really think in terms of replicating yourself. And that's the last piece of advice I would share. I think that's, for me, I'm still on that journey and seeing good success. Not everything is perfect. Not everybody that you entrust or delegate to can do it like you, and that's okay. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to let people make mistakes. Maybe you have a better time at that than I do, but sometimes, since my name is on the door, not realistically, but you feel responsible. It's hard to do that. And so I'm still wrestling through those things myself and working toward that. I have a target date that I'm trying to hit where I've shifted a lot of my day-to-day responsibilities so I can focus on sales and strategy for the company and vision. And I know many of you are on that journey too. And so don't give up, keep pursuing that. And I think we'll all be rewarded in a way when we hit that point where we're like, okay, I'm kind of indispensable here right now, but let's get it to a point where the company can be healthy and operate even independently of me. And I think that's going to be the most rewarding thing for any entrepreneur.